Newcastle 1, Man United 0. Marcel, the most confident fan that we got here, the last of the Mohicans when it comes to confidence and positivity. How do you see that game?
It was shocking, isn't it? Obviously, it was shocking. We didn't play well. We suffered the whole game and only had a few counter-attacking moments to show for it. But I'm still, 10 Hag in. I'm still believing in the team.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm still positive about, the direction that we're going.
How are you still, okay, so this is it. And last week I was accused of being a bully and I thought that was ridiculous.
Crazy.
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
It is what it is. How come you're still positive and you're still you said you can see a process, you can see stuff. What are you seeing?
The build-up and then the turnovers. So I'm seeing in the forward line, I'm seeing in certain games when we have the players, when you have Rashford when he's on form, or Anthony when he's playing well on the right-hand side, when you have Garnacho on the left, when you have Højlund, because you can't have Marcel out there, you saw the pressing's not there with him, when you have Bruno behind Højlund, when you have a Mason Mount behind Højlund as well, whether it's both of them together or just the one. So if it's...
Is this theory that you're talking about though? Because when have you seen this season? This is like a theoretical, what you expect to want it to.
Well, Ten Hag's mentioned about our turnovers this season, and he's mentioned us being the best in the league with that. You see it in moments against Arsenal, especially against Arsenal. I think there was a few turnovers there and opportunities from these turnovers. There's been games where it's happened for me.
But when you talk, so you're saying. So it's not mostly about the result then. Are you just saying that, so you're not really, because those are the losses, by the way, that you mentioned.
Yeah, so for me, it's about performance right now, not the result. The performance has to be there for in the team first. And in terms of turnovers in the forward line, there's performance there that wasn't there before. In terms of build-up, there's performance there that wasn't there before. Yes, the results haven't come, but for me, the results are not there because he doesn't have all the for me, he needs 30 of his players. Do you know what I mean? Like all the other managers right now that you're seeing performance and results, Arsenal Football Club, Man City, Aston Villa. Well, yeah, but Newcastle to a degree, but they're close to us. When I'm talking about the creme de la creme in the league, the ones that are winning consistently back-to-back games, have the mentality, have the resolve to win games, have structure, clear build-up kind of patterns and everything, they have a lot of players that the manager's brought in himself. He's had a long time to work with his players.
So just some little pushback and stuff. Yeah. You talk about bringing in certain players. Yeah. The players that he's brought in, Amrabat on the bench, Anthony on the bench. Who else did he bring in that he's had on? Reguilon on the bench. Mason Mount out. Yeah. But then that part that's not making any sense.
Yeah, I mean Amrabat. He can only play. So I think Ten Hag has got an issue in terms of the style of football that he's trying to.
Højlund on the bench.
Yeah, but so the 3-1-6 structure, I think there's a bit of issue with that. Playing in the Premier League with just one DM, we're getting open. You saw it in the first 2 games. Casemiro's not used to that. We needed a proper 6 to hold that defensive line for us, and you can see Amrabat's that kind of player that can do it. Didn't get a preseason, has been injured. When has he had a last 90? And quite frankly, I think he was all right against City. When he came off, that was when the floodgates opened. You got McTominay in there, expected to do the holding line 6 role, and it wasn't working. Then you got Kobbie Mainoo, an 18-year-old, the other one that's quite frankly better than Amrabat at doing it, but is 18, hasn't played many minutes for the club. So we haven't got a 6. So a midfield is still the issue within the club.
But he's buying these, a lot of the signings that we bought in, he's the one that sanctions them, right? Yeah. So it's that's the part for me that's the confusion.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people are saying his talent ID. Anthony, is he good enough for the league? Malasia's not been here, unfortunately. Injury. Martinez at times, people are saying if he's good enough.
I want to focus on the midfield. What I want to do with you just now, just so we can really understand what's going on. The main focus is midfield. This season, he's brought in 2 players, Mount and Amrabat. Have we gone forward as a midfielder or have we regressed? Who's that on?
So for me, Mason Mount, it's on Ten Hag in terms of, I think that 3-1-6 is not looking like it's working right now. But has he had 5, 6, 7 games of Kobbie Mainoo or Amrabat and 2 8s? That if we're talking about the players that he's purchased, Mason Mount and Bruno, have we had 5 or 6 games of that where they can understand and help complement each other and make sure that this is not a basketball match? Know when to set up and shut up shop and know when to go forward.
Do you get more control of the midfield with a midfielder, Kobbie, Mason Mount and Bruno though? In your just theoretical opinion at the moment, because we tried Bruno and Mason before, and I don't know if it's worked.
So yeah, it had Casemiro back. You're talking about maybe the first 2 games of the season. It had Casemiro, behind them, and then when we went into the Arsenal game, I think Ten Hag went to maybe a 3-2-5 a little bit, but had Eriksen in there for the more control and the sensible passing. I just feel like it needs more games. I really do.
That's fair enough. That's fair enough. Again, so you're saying you're sticking with this, sticking with the process, trusting that the manager can get it right.
He will.
Like, what do we need to do next? Like, what's the most important? Like, because we can't go into the market. The window's closed. What do we do?
I think it's going back maybe. Unfortunately, because I didn't want to do this, I thought Ten Hag make the right decision in terms of last season we were playing Oli ball with maybe Ten Hag principles, but it worked. We were stable. Not much. We weren't conceding much. Players didn't have to run or work as much, even though we had to increase the intensity a little bit. But Ten Hag said it this season: the running intensity across the board, every team is implementing systems in which it's high intensity. Players are injured because of that. But for me, I just think we need to just go back to that kind of Ole style where it's just counter-attack, because
you was looking for a counter-attack. When we was talking off camera today, you said today should be all right because it's counter-attack in football. How did we look today with a counter-attack?
I don't think it was counter-attack football.
What was it then? What did we do today?
It was players capitulating. It was players not looking fit or physically in the right condition. Yes, Newcastle had a day extra recovery than ours, but I don't want to use that as an excuse. But it just looked like players that are just not good enough. When Ten Hag wants you to play front foot football, and those players that were selected today and in the whole squad are not able to enact that consistently, and that's the issue.
Onana does decent today, gets through the game, but again, kicking still a lot to be desired.
Yeah, he's playing the ball into Maguire at times, or not going to him because he can't go into him because we have players that can't fit that style. But and when he does go long, it's not with any quality or any accuracy. Making sure that it goes over the full back so that Rashford has a half a chance to get onto it, or Højlund, dropping it into his feet as much as possible, or looping it into him. Things that he needs to work on, but overall was okay. I mean, getting bullied a little bit in the corners, and when the opposition were taking corners, Newcastle were taking corners, Trippier just throwing it on him. But listen, I think he's been all right, in this game, and, good luck to him for the rest of the season.
All right, quick. So we got El Madrigal coming on Wednesday. Talk to me. You get to talk to the players. What are you saying to those boys before that game?
It's at Old Trafford. I mean, firstly, I think Rashford needs to be dropped, unfortunately. I think Anthony should be playing in this game. I think he was brilliant in the Galatasaray game. I don't know why he doesn't play, but I just think they just need to show more fight. He maybe need to be more creative with his substitutions or his team selection. Hannibal gives us energy. We needed energy in this game. Why is Hannibal not playing? Anthony he was working when he played. He was trying to go up into the forward line and help Højlund win the ball back. He should be playing. So Ten Hag has some big decisions to make in terms of the team selection, but it's at home, man. We have to go out as much as we can for that win.
All right, well, listen, we'll see what we can do. Brother, thanks a lot. Big up, man.